From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Tonight, it's our first Monday night game of the new season, and we've got a good one coming up, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets. A new era begins here at MetLife Stadium. The Bills and Jets underway to close out Week 1. Out of his end zone comes in, and look at this. Right away, a loose football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. To throw is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. Touchdown! Breece Hall from 8 yards out. And the Jets are on the board here first in the season opener. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen, little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw, it's Allen. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A 2nd fumble recovery in this 1st quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the 1st fumble recovery, they were eager to get a 2nd one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Jets. 2 touchdown passes now here in this 1st quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about double 0, like Jim Otto used to wear, or Kenny Boyle used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Now Allen being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away. So for the Bills, Charles, a lot of people see them as the favorites to unseat Kansas City, not just as AFC champions, but potentially as Super Bowl champions. You take a peek at their first month of the season, the Jets tonight, home for the Raiders next week, then at Washington, home for the Dolphins before they make the trip to London in Week 5.
And it looks like a slate that's going to challenge them, and it probably will, but it's also one that's manageable. They've got a big-time offense and a defense that's been number 1 in the league the last couple of seasons. They believe this is their year.
So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. Back deep for the Jets, McCole Hardman. This is brought in at the 21. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards. This offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now Cook running right. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 68 yards for him on the ground in his first quarter. He has been tremendous to start the new year. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was take a
touchdown. Tyler Conklin, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Jets are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time.
Stephon Diggs! And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll try the middle with Cook. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 21-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Yeah, their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Allen. That'll be complete to Cook. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Over the middle, complete. That's Davis. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Tyler Bass out for the Bills' field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills are forced to settle for 3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Give to Cook out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
But obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Here's Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. On play action. Rodgers. Down to the 10. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are able to add on to their first half lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Isabella now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. Hall again on 2nd down. Oh, some strong running. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards on a 1st down.
There's a nice play by Hall, who was hitting his stride and more. And looking at the franchise back when a torn ACL ended his rookie year at 7 games. We all saw the electricity. We felt it before he went down, though. The expectations very high for the future star here in year 2.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Rodgers going to throw. His throw incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down, right around the 18-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Isabella now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Forced out to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they have really gotten after him in this first half. He's been on the run throughout. And you can imagine he just might have some words for his linemen come halftime.
2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the 2nd half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 123 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd down, Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Greg Zerline for the Jets field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Isabella now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Ball again on second down. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, Abanikanda. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Escapes the defender. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Give them 12 yards there. The Jets have a first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll go again with Hall. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. And 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. The give now to Abanikanda. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That good for 22 and a 1st down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Abanikanda. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And they take a knee. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And, oh, that's one he's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose. But you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Throwing on first down is Allen. He'll find Gabriel Davis. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Abanikanda on 1st and 10. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they'll indeed take a knee.